If you're a busy professional or parent who's ever crashed right after a big win, this episode is for you. Because that crash usually isn't your body failing. It's your mind losing the feeling. Day 1 feels like a breakthrough, and day 2 feels like nothing happened. The first time I hit 500 push-ups, I felt unstoppable. And the next day after work, still in my work clothes, I stood there staring at the floor thinking, does it really matter if I skip just this once? That question is the hidden cost of growth, not the pain, the return. And in this episode, I'm going to show you the simple 3-step return protocol that turned 500 from a one-time high into a pattern, even when the feeling is gone. Stay with me. Because the high disappears, but the work stays. And what you really keep is the weight and the gift of showing up again. When was the last time a big win felt huge on day 1? And strangely normal by day 2? That was 500 for me. The first time I hit it, I felt like a hero. The second time I felt ordinary. That's the quiet law of growth that no one advertises. The high disappears, but the work stays. No one tells you how quickly achievement evaporates. What you really keep is the weight of showing up again. After part 1, when my ceiling moved and 500 stopped feeling impossible, I thought momentum would carry me. Once I'd crossed that line, surely the rest would feel automatic. Instead, life began its whisper campaign. Late nights, travel, deadlines, fatigue, all of them saying the same thing. You've done enough for today. One night, I remember standing in my room after a long day, still in my work clothes, looking at the floor and thinking, does it really matter if I skip just this once? That's when I realized it's easy to admire discipline from a distance. It's much harder to live inside it. And when I paid attention, I saw the same pattern everywhere. The first big promotion, the first successful launch, the first time your work is finally seen. New goals start with fireworks. Mastery happens in the dark. That's the cost of 500. Not pain, repetition, not applause, retard. So, here are 3 shifts that help me cultivate the discipline needed for mastery. Shift 1. From excitement to endurance. Excitement is a spark. Endurance is a practice. Excitement asks, how much can I do today? Endurance asks, will I return tomorrow, even if today felt small? If you've ever watched your progress stall right after a big win, it's usually not because you're weak. It's because the feeling left and you never built a way back. This is where most people quietly fall off, not at failure, but at the first sign that the high is gone. If that's where you are, the next part matters. Shift 2. Build a way back. The return protocol. I had to design my return. Not a perfect routine, just a way back in when motivation disappeared. For 500 to become a pattern, I needed something small but solid to stand on when the feeling wasn't there. For me, that looked like 3 simple things. First, a bad day minimum. The smallest version I'd still be proud of on a hard day. For me, that was 3 sets totaling about 240. If I did more, great. If not, I was still a person who returned. Second, I attached it to a habit, linking the sets to things that already happened. After prayer, before a shower, or the moment I got home from work. Third, I made it visible. A simple tally where I could see the return stack, not as numbers on a spreadsheet, but as evidence that I came back. The numbers mattered less than the message I was sending to myself. You can trust you. Motivation is a guest. Protocols are what actually live in your house. If you're thinking of that project, that habit, that commitment you quietly dropped after the first high, this is your invitation. Don't wait for the feeling. Design your way back in. And stay with this series, because in part 3, we'll talk about the comfort trap that tries to pull you out again. Shift 3. Reframe the cost. Somewhere along the way, 500 stopped being about strength and started being about cost. Not cost as punishment, cost as proof. The price of repetition is the receipt of identity. Every time I chose to return, tired, busy, unexcited, I was paying for the person I said I wanted to become. And when I made peace with that cost, I stopped bargaining with the work, not to impress anyone, but to steward what I've been given with honesty. The days didn't get easier, but I got stronger for what was coming. So if the high has faded and the work feels heavy, maybe nothing is broken. Maybe you're finally paying the right price. 2 questions I keep asking myself when the excitement dies are these. What part of your journey has stopped being exciting, but is still essential to who you're becoming? And 2, where is endurance asking for your quiet yes today? The yes your future self will thank you for. This is part 2 of the 500 series on mentorship, consistency, and unseen discipline. In part 3, we'll name the trap that stops most people at 100, how comfort wears the mask of success, and how to recognize it before it quietly becomes your ceiling again. And if today's conversation resonated, hit subscribe, follow the Faceless Coach on social, and join the free newsletter on LinkedIn. Our community is for people like you, ambitious, thoughtful professionals and entrepreneurs navigating the quiet but powerful journey from private conviction to visible leadership. Until next time, stay brave and keep moving towards your goals. You are enough. The Faceless Coach is rooting for you. You've got this.